There's only been one arrest so far, but a handful of people have been sent home in cabs. These streets that line the city square here in Petersburg were once laid with bricks 24 hours ago when there was a flood of cop cars and streams of crime scene tape. After slipping and sliding on the wet pavement, prisoners of war and those still considered missing in action from a war that ended nearly 45 years ago. Police say a 21-year-old man came to the hospital with a gunshot wound, and that's what led them here to this street corner. They find themselves in the middle of the violent struggle. From cleaning up spills to performing religious services, they lost everything they worked to build as they watched their family home destroyed by a fire. As the vehicle she was traveling in followed these tracks here and went inside this Kansas Street home on the east side of Springfield. Reporting live at the Capitol, Rebekah Thurston, ABC News Channel. Homes demolished, lives changed forever, all in a matter of moments. A deadly tornado ripped through the town of Washington, Illinois, leaving mountains of debris and those affected with only memories.
People are looking through their belongings, finding little pieces, pictures.
And although the wreckage is unimaginable, only one death has been confirmed, but more than 50 with tornado-related injuries have made their way to the hospital. One brave 12-year-old describes what she saw as the terrible twister touched down.
First we saw the clouds forming, and then we actually saw it coming with like the debris and stuff flying around. We heard it coming and the huge winds, and my ears actually popped. And we could hear it draining our toilets.
But it wasn't until the sirens stopped that a new reality for little Sophie began.
I went outside expecting everything to be just the same. Maybe one or two trees fell over, and everything was demolished.
Most of her neighborhood is gone. Left behind is a trail of destruction.
I'm from Germany and I survived the war. This looks like a war zone. This reminds me of those days in the war. It's terrible.
And she hopes it won't be that way for long. Friends and neighbors from near and far immediately sprang into action. Dump trucks and excavators clearing the way for a fresh start. In Washington, Rebekah Thurston, ABC News Channel 20.
Burnt the house to the ground in a matter of 37 minutes.
It's hard when you see 32 years of your life condensed down to 6 boxes.
Tom and Brittany Calhoun, along with their 4 kids, lost everything but the clothes on their back on a cold Sunday night.
It didn't make sense that he was yelling fire because, well, that didn't make sense. I didn't smell any smoke.
I've had people ask me, what woke you up? So I said, have to be God, because I was in a sound sleep.
He said, get the kids, get them out. And so I jumped up and I ran into the kitchen, and that's when I seen like the kitchen window just blew out from the force of the fire behind it.
Then I heard someone call 911. And so I woke up and jumped out of bed.
They made it out untouched by the smoke and flames, but their farm home was a different story.
It was just all a bad dream, and I'm gonna wake up and be in my bed and have my things around, and then kind of open your eyes and wake up the rest of the way, and there's those boxes sitting there with everything you own in them. Realize it's not a bad dream.
And the nightmare isn't over. The family forced to return to the scene of the devastation day after day to feed their farm animals. But even still, the family is striving to stay positive. In the meantime, they call a motel room home.
Really been loving living in the motel room. As painful it is for me to stay in one room for the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Today, the Calhoun family is just glad that they made it out alive, but they are still in desperate need of donations, whether that be clothing, children's toys, or even simply a monetary donation. In Petersburg, Rebekah Thurston, ABC News Channel. Vince, it's here outside the federal building in downtown Springfield that community members met with a message for Congress.
What do you want? When do you want it? Now!
As the shutdown continues, we find our way into week 3 of governmental distress.
The longer this goes on, the more that's going to build up, but we're going to really see the pain in Illinois.
And some local citizens are calling for action.
I am here to demonstrate. I am here to rally because the subject, main topic is shutting down our government.
Stop playing with people's lives and to open up the government again so that services can continue.
Those who rallied are calling on their congressmen to do their jobs.
I think this is all about making sure that the government serves the people, and they're not serving the people right now.
Settle up with the budget, work together. Don't be so far off that you want to run the country in a way that will hurt all of us.
I can't believe that anyone would question that we need to cut the spending and reduce our debt.
And though the numbers in the crowd were barely over 24, the advocates believe their voices will be heard.
You know, even if you only have 2 people and you're telling these people what we actually want, we're representing the thousands that couldn't make it.
We spoke with both Democrats and Republicans at the rally today, and while they differed on some aspects, they both agreed that shutting down the government is not the way to handle the Great Divide in Washington. Live in downtown Springfield, Rebekah Thurston, ABC News Channel 20.